Hi Pisces, I hope that you guys are all doing well. This is part 2 to your what you need to know for February. So in this reading, we are going to do the second, no, not the second, I take it back. We're going to be doing the third and the fourth week of February. So it will be the second half of February that we're going to be covering. Before we get into your reading though, I do want to say the reading that I did for the first part of the month, for the first half of the month, it ended with number 2424. That was the duration of the reading. And I just looked it up. And this says, while you may be dying to get into the significant part of your life that you feel is waiting for you, your angels are announcing through angel number 2424 that you have to wait a little longer. Stay patient. And remember that it is all coming. You need to wait for it all to come together behind the scenes. So just thought I'd say, for those of you that resonates with. All right, so now we will get into the third week of February. Something about pay attention to where you're driving, where you're going, the direction. Wow, you really can't make this up. We have 2 of Cups and we have 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles, I have pulled separately each week of February. 9 of Pentacles has come out now for 3 out of the 4 weeks, and we haven't done the 4th week yet. 9 of Pentacles is out again. I'm seeing strength on the bottom of the deck. Okay, this feels recognizing the difference between what the 2 of Cups is versus what the Devil is. Like what feels to you like actual union with yourself, with the universe, with you being connected with yourself versus what is a like faulty sense of connection. What is choices that you make where you are showing up for yourself and being in that place where you are with yourself versus with the Devil where you may be abandoning yourself from something externally where you're like, I have something missing and I need to make up that distance, and so I'm going to outsource in some way, knowing the difference between the 2 of these. So you can be in a spot where you've really been strengthening this connection with yourself and seeing the place that this brings you into, and then having the Devil there can be something that you're looking at in the environment that you are seeing for what it is now, and this can be something that you weren't necessarily seeing before. It could have even been something that you felt like you needed before in order to feel at one with yourself or at peace with yourself or connected with yourself, that you're recognizing was false in some way. Because the Devil can show up and say, in order for you to feel connected, you need me. And this is something that I'm seeing 6 of Cups wanting to come out. This can be something from your past. It can be somebody. It can be an old habit. The guy on the 2 of Cups, his outfit is looking very Flintstones to me here. Two of Cups is coming together. Do not obsess so much over the future that you're losing sight of things presently. I'm seeing 3 of Wands be connected with the Devil. This is like thinking about stuff so much over there that you are not in the present moment. So you're losing yourself to that. So there can be something going on where like maybe there's something where you're realizing that there's something in the future that you've been obsessing about and it's been taking you out of being present. It's been taking you out of the present moment. There's something here too about needing to prioritize resting with I'm seeing Devil and I'm seeing Four of Swords. So this can be something that you're like, this isn't the best for me, this is unhealthy, or this is toxic, or it's just like not promoting my best interest here, that you're going to be taking a break from. I'm not seeing the Death card, so I'm not saying that this is going to go away altogether, but if you've been doing something where you're like, I don't think that this is the best thing for myself for me to be doing, I'm seeing you're taking a break from it. And it can be a behavior, it can be a way of thinking, it can be a cycle of some sort. I'm seeing you stop. I don't know if you're going to restart this, but I'm seeing you at least stop it for now. Because you look at this and you recognize, and you could feel like you're not prioritizing yourself when you're choosing this. This can be even something like you're overworking or overexerting yourself, like doing too much. Or it can be looking into stuff that isn't actually great for you to be doing, or getting yourself energetically caught up within. I'm seeing the Lovers on the bottom of the deck, so maybe this is something going on with you and another person that you're like, I don't know that this is the best thing for me to be caught up within. I feel like I'm outsourcing something that I need to be giving to myself here. I want to feel connected with myself. I want to make choices that are going to promote that sense of connection. So I feel like I'm in a congruent place. And so rather than giving your power away, you can be really focusing on you and what you can provide for yourself. Focus on promoting that and encouraging that within your life. I'm seeing too that it looks like a bit later down the line there's going to be a period where you can relax in a way that you may not totally feel like you can do right now, because you're still figuring some things out. Let's clarify the Devil and see if we get any more information about this. It can be something that's hard not to do, and at the same time, if you really check in about it, you don't think that it's the best thing for yourself. But that doesn't mean it's easy to separate yourself from. Some of you, this can be an investment of yours that you may be releasing. Something you've been investing in, something that you've been... Okay, when I say investing, I'm seeing somebody that has a plant that they've been growing, but it feels like the Devil is one of these plants that's been growing in the garden, and you may have been continuing to feed into it and nurture it, and it can be something that you're going to cease doing that, or at least pause and say, I'm not going to be watering it for at least a little bit, and then see what happens. I'm not seeing whether you're going to resume this or not. I'm just seeing that for now, you can say, I'm not going to be watering this. And for some of you, it's specifically a relationship. Because you can feel like you're choosing your connection with yourself here, with yourself, with spirit, to be in a place of connection, versus choosing self-abandonment. You choose the Two of Cups versus choosing the Devil. And it can be difficult too when you're going through a time when you're like, is this promoting connection with myself, or does this just look like it's promoting connection with myself and it's actually distancing me from myself? And having to discern the difference. So I'm seeing that be going on in that third week. Okay, there's something about old ways that you can be having difficulty letting go of. That can be part of this too. Can be like beliefs that are being questioned as well. Needing to prioritize the wisdom that you are getting from your higher self. Okay. I am seeing that there's going to be a recovery period, and it's connected with something emotionally that you're going through in that third week. Letting go of, I'm also hearing. Okay. Now for that fourth and final week of February, I want to say this, seeing the Knight of Pentacles come out in all of this spread so far, and I've pulled I put all the cards back and pulled different spreads for each of the weeks so far. Seeing that, I feel like the Nine of Pentacles is playing a very important theme for you in the month of February. Like getting through a challenging time, challenging cycle, a challenging situation. Overcoming the adversity that you face. Okay, we have the Lovers and we have the Magician coming out. This means that there can be somebody that you're connecting with in that 4th week, and you can be having conversation with one another. There can be plans about something. You can even be wanting to get on the same page with them, do something together. You can have to like get to a place where both of y'all are agreeing on what this is. Yeah. Make sure that you're on the same page with this person, because this feels like one of those times when you and this person, if you're not communicating clearly, maybe doing 2 different things even though you're supposed to be on the same page. So just be mindful of that. Maybe something where like extra effort has to be put into communication so you're both on the same page, Pisces. You can even be resolving a problem that's lingering. Like maybe there's attitude about something, or maybe there's division about something, and you need to look into it and see what's going on with that. Like, why is this where we're standing with things? We're supposed to be working together and be on the same page. It may be something that feels unpleasant to go into, but it can be very helpful for the 2 of you. There's a guardedness I'm seeing be coming up here. There can even be something that was going on where there's like some type of sneakiness that's being recognized. This can be when my heart is closed off. I do things where I'm looking out for myself and I don't care if I'm being honest with you or not. There can be something that's connected with that type of theme that's going on here. It feels like doing something behind somebody's back is this feeling that I'm getting with 5 of Swords and then also 7 of Swords. And this can be a time too where it comes from a place of division of when you're in a good place with another person, and this can be another person's energy as well, but it has to do with a close relationship of yours that's very relevant during that 4th week of February. So what I'm seeing going on is that when you're in a place where instead of being in the 5 of Swords, you feel like you're a teammate with a person, that's when there can be vulnerability and honesty. But when we have the 5 of Swords, it can be like, okay, even though we're here together and like technically we're on the same team, we're adversaries right now. And because of that, I'm going to look out for myself. I don't care if you're informed or not, even though I know I should be telling you this, but I'm not going to. So there's something about that that's coming up. And this can be, for those of you that you're not actively engaging within a relationship, you may want a relationship, and this can be something that you're looking into. Why do I do that sometimes within my relationships? Why do I go cold, or why do I feel resentment, then not communicate with that, and then do something where I'm not being totally transparent, when really this is a person that I'm supposed to be working with them and be on the same team as them? So there can be relational stuff in general that's coming up. Why would this be coming up? Why would this feel like you need to address this now? I'm getting something about lemon here. When I think of lemon, I think of cleansing. This is coming up because you want partnership. You want a sense of relationship with the Lovers and the Magician. There is an intention here of feeling that sense of togetherness. And so you need to look at, where am I closed off? Where's my heart closed off? Where am I inconsiderate? Where am I not valuing myself? When am I dismissing myself or another person? Where am I being selfish or self-centered? Where am I scared? Where am I unwilling to be vulnerable? Where am I not completely honest? Where am I wanting to do what I want to do but not be upfront about it? Where am I not owning what I want to do, my energy, my choices, my mistakes I'm hearing? So it can be a time when this is being evaluated. This is going to be some deep shadow work that's coming up. but it's something that's very much going to better your relationships. I do overall get this feeling what can be looked into is where you're supposed to be together with a person and be on the same page and same team as them. Where does that splitting occur away to protect? So you, like, something happens where there's like a wedge that comes between you and this person, and you say, I need to look out for myself, I need to protect myself, and then you do things that are not aligned with your integrity, and then suffer the consequences of that, because it sabotages the sense of intimacy and connection and vulnerability. So then instead of being you guys working together, and even like you guys against the world or whatever else, it feels like now we're pitted against one another, because I'm pitted against myself here, because it's my ego versus my heart here. My ego's just doing this to keep me safe, because this is how I've learned to survive, versus my heart saying, like, I want that closeness. I want us to be together. I want to figure things out. I want to feel that sense of intimacy with another person, or just with my relationships in general. Can be maybe within specific partnerships even. So where do I get scared and I close myself off because I'm so scared of being seen, of feeling seen, of feeling exposed? I tell myself I want relationships, but then I'm making these choices, I'm doing these things that close me off from that. So I'm not vulnerable. But you need vulnerability to have intimacy. And so it can be something where you're like, I want this, and so I need to work on this so I can have that. I'm seeing some stuff coming together here that you want to come together. It's just the work of doing this to allow that to happen. Seeing something about emotions being concealed, or like secrets, that can also be something that comes up too. Not listening to intuition, ignoring that, shutting it down. This can be that, like, in the pit of my stomach, I know that I should be doing this or I shouldn't be doing this. But then having that Seven of Swords can be the ways that you sort of swim around that mentally. How you convince yourself that's not the case, or I don't need to be doing that, or I don't need to say anything about that. So it can be a time where you're prioritizing that emotional intelligence that you have. So yeah, you can be looking into ways that you sabotage things at times. But I do get this thing about secrecy being connected with this, with the High Priestess and Seven of Swords. Because this can be like, why say something that I don't need to be saying, but you don't feel good about that. So you know it's not in alignment. And for some of you too, that like this can be somebody more so that you're working with. This can be like somebody that you connect with. It can be a time when your intuition is saying, hey, something's going on, and you ignore it. You're feeling something and you're like, nope, I'm not feeling that. I don't know what's going on here, you know, and you can kind of escape from how you're feeling, try to ignore it, subdue it, make it go away so you don't have to address it, so you don't have to deal with it. So this can be a time where you're learning how to speak up. It can be a time where you're learning how to pay attention to what's going on, to take action appropriately. And all of this so you can manifest something, so you can materialize something that you want to materialize, rather than having these things that come halfway to fruition and then fall apart because you're like counteracting the manifestation. Deep emotional work that's being done. It's like I'm seeing something about the priorities that one has when their heart is closed down versus prioritizing sometimes the relationship. Like priorities you have when your heart is open versus the things that we prioritize when our hearts are closed. And that being some type of theme here. And that bleeding into what ends up being done. And this can be that oscillation of going back and forth. When my heart's open, I do this, but then I'm feeling scared. I feel like I need to protect myself. I'm not feeling safe. And so then I'm doing the opposite of that. And then I'm wondering why things aren't moving forward. And it's because you're like you start building those bricks and then you start taking them down. And that's why things have been turning out the way that they've been turning out. So you can be seeing, you can be recognizing where you've been doing this. But this can be some stuff that's like really buried deeply within there. This can be some deep, deep, deep stuff that you don't want to look at times. So this can be like deep in avoidance of bringing these things to light. So this can be some like very, very powerful magnetic stuff that your shadow is connected with that needs to be exposed here. Because I feel like something goes on at times with that Five of Swords and the Devil. This can be obsessed, like utterly obsessed with keeping yourself safe and feeling unsafe in most situations. And this being something that can be connected with, like, how do you work with this part of yourself that can feel very triggered at times, which is okay, but then is going to react based off of the triggers in a way that deconstructs what it is that you actually want to be experiencing and building within your life. And the part of you that's like, this is what I want, but I don't want to have to take the proper steps in order to do that. And then I wonder why it's falling apart. And this can be too also prioritizing things, like your shadow coming through and being like, let me add this to the grocery list, when really it shouldn't be on there in the first place. And not taking a closer look at this. So it can be ways where you're seeing what's on your list of priorities, where your shadow has been like, don't forget this, this, and this on it, and going in there and erasing those things off of there. Saying, I don't want to be prioritizing that because it's actually counteracting what I'm trying to do here. And this can also be self-worth stuff that comes up, you know, when you tell yourself, like, this about myself and that about myself, and it keeps feeding into this self-destruction and this sabotaging and being like, I just can't get away from it. That's just how I am. That's just how I'm made. This is just how it's going to be, when that's not the case. It's just a cop-out. So you can be coming through here and looking at stuff that maybe it feels good to do sometimes, and you're like, but that's not getting me to where I want to be. It's not allowing that to unfold and happen, and that's what I want. It's keeping me from what I really want. Then there can be something where you're choosing something that like isolates you and may keep you safe, but it doesn't really feel fulfilling on that deeper level of what you want. And even though it can feel like it assuages your ego's pain and fear, you can really be lacking that deeper substance that you want to experience within your relationships. All from this deep-seated fear. It can be fear of being betrayed, fear of vulnerability. And taking a closer look at this, because this isn't something where it's like, this is just your situation, that's it. Can't go any deeper than that. Can't fix it. You can go deeper into this, and there can be some immense healing that's done, but only if you're willing to look at it. And there can be this part of you that's like, I just like throw my hands up, and that just is what it is for me, when it's not. Unless you decide. But this is something that you can work with if you're willing to. There can be a part of you that's telling you otherwise. Can't work within this situation when that's not the case. But you can feel like, I don't know how to get a handle on this part of myself. I need some help here, maybe for some of you. You know, it can feel like a very sticky karmic situation here that you can be like actually tormented by this part of yourself sometimes. You can feel like this part of you, like this aspect of your shadow is too powerful at times and you're not able to work with it. When I'm not seeing that be the case, but that can be the feeling. It's just too powerful. I'm too chained by that. It has too much power and control over me. This can also be something with the Devil and Seven of Swords about you wanting to keep an upper hand and control situations as well. Not to like be going here. I know like it can be hard to hear these things, but if we're not honest, what are we here to be doing? It's not going to be helpful. So I have to say what I'm seeing here within the reading. So yeah, it can be a difficult listen, especially when there's resistance working with this part of yourself. Coming into the light anyway is how you work with this. Be honest with yourself about this. Because it's just going to take away from what you want. If you want the things that you want, this is how you get them. You want to connect with things, and that's available to you. You're able to do that. It's a possibility for you. You can have these opportunities. It's just where you're telling yourself, like, I might as well not try because I can't have nice things like that. When that's not the case. Again, it's just a cop-out. And it can really just be feeling like, I have this belief within me that if I do try to address this and to work with this and to heal this part of myself, that I'm not going to be able to, so that's why I don't try. Or like I'm absolutely terrified of not being in control. I'm terrified of stepping into my authenticity without having some sort of guard in front of it, because then I can be judged. So these are the types of things. So as I said before, major shadow work, and I feel like this comes to a head in that 4th week of February. Right in time for Western Pisces season. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.